Hi there and welcome to this video. In this video I will explain how you can invest in Pokémon sealed products. Enjoy! You are probably thinking to yourself, why should I invest in Pokémon sealed products? Well, I will show you. When you invest in traditional investment methods like the S&P 500, an index fund that tracks the 500 largest companies of the US, you can expect about an 18.58% return in 2 years. Which is really great. The S&P 500 is one of the best investment methods for everyday man. But if you invest in Pokémon you can make great returns too. I've tracked every mainline set from Sun and Moon Base up to Fusion Strike, and in that way I calculated the booster box price 2 years ago up till now. And as you can see, if you would have invested in every booster box since then, you made about a 50% return. For the Sun and Moon era, the return would have been about a 58% return. For the Sword and Shield era, it would have been about a 40.39% return. So both are really nice returns. As you can see, almost every set had made a great return. There are only 3 sets that made a loss. Sun and Moon Base stayed stagnant a bit, but it isn't one of the most exciting sets. The Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage were brought out during the hype of the corona pandemic. During that time there was a lot of hype and that shoot the prices right up. Booster boxes were about 160 to 140 when sets just came out, so that's really expensive. And yeah, if you see now, the prices came down quite heavy. But if you wait long enough, you can still make a great return on even a Vivid Voltage or Darkness Ablaze booster box. Another point that I want to make is you should diversify. If you buy one of every set, you can see that you can make some great returns, because you will pick some winners and some losers. If you would have invested only in Vivid Voltage way back, you would have made a great loss. So diversify, invest in different sets, and then you will come out on top anyway. You may think to yourself, yeah, Pokémon investing sounds great, but which language should I choose? The Japanese or the English language? There are pros and cons to both sides. For the Japanese language, the pros are that every booster box is seeded. There's some guaranteed hits. Every booster box contains one secret rare. And this could be a secret art rare, a gold card, or a regular full art as we know it in the English side. One of the other advantages is that the Japanese cards have a better print quality. So if people are looking to greater cards, you can do that with Japanese booster boxes more easily than with the English side. You can expect more 10s out of a booster box than from an English side perspective. One of the disadvantages of Pokémon card investing on the Japanese side is that the market price is way too high. Japanese booster boxes are retailed around $40 in Japan. But yeah, if you want to have some booster boxes here, they have to be imported and you can't buy them directly out of Japan, so you have to use a middleman. They charge you way too much. You can expect about a 2, 3 or sometimes even 4 times higher markup over a Japanese retail suggested price. One other disadvantage of investing in Japanese product is that if you do open the product, it's a bit harder to sell your loose cards over here. In the Western world there's a lot more demand for Pokémon cards with the English language on it. So if you have some loose Japanese cards, it's a bit harder to sell. There's still a small market available, but it won't go as quickly if you sell loose cards in English. If you want to invest on the English side of Pokémon, you're probably wondering to yourself, which Pokémon products are the best for me? You have booster boxes, elite trainer boxes, collection boxes, blisters, loose packs, there are all kinds of products. I'll give you my top 3 for the best products. The first is the booster box. It will always be king, it's the most sought after product from every set and it contains 36 packs. The second in line are Pokémon Center Elite Trainer boxes. These boxes hold more premium than a regular Elite Trainer box because they have a limited print run and a different design. And the third in line are regular Elite Trainer boxes. They are a really cool display piece and also have some really nice packs. What is the best moment to invest in a set? Well, you should wait about 3 to 5 months before buying a set. I will now show you why. On pokedata.io you can check the booster box prices when sets were just released and you can compare them to now. And if you check, you can see that the booster box prices of Fusion Strike were around $140 when they were released. But if you were patient and waited about 3 to 5 months, you would have bought a booster box around $84. So that saves a huge amount of money. So if you're patient and you wait 3 to 5 months, you can make some great deals on booster boxes. You're probably wondering to yourself, yeah, but what about the chase cards or the singles? Well, if you check the chase card of Fusion Strike, the Gengar VMAX, which is a really cool looking card, you can see that around release time it was about $187.50. But if you were patient and you waited a few months, you could have bought it for around $86. And eventually the cards will rise again, as you can see now, and it's about $185. But still, if you would have bought it around release, you will not have made a profit, so be patient and wait 3 to 5 months. For Lost Origin, another really cool set, you could have bought a booster box around release for $128. But if you would have been patient and you waited a few months, you could have bought a booster box for $95. So by being patient you can make some quite nice returns already. And if you look at the chase card, the Giratina V, a really cool looking card, you would have paid about $325 when the set would have been released. But if you waited a few months, you could have bought it about $224, so that saves $100 already. So by being patient, you can make some great returns. But investing your time frame is really important. There's been a crazy time in Pokémon where a set could have been doubled in value in about 2 years. But like with every regular investment, it takes a long time before you see returns. So take it slow and just wait for the best moment to buy some products and hold onto it for a long time frame. The best time frame you have to determine for yourself, but I think that you should expect at least a minimum time frame of 5 or 10 years before you see some really great returns. Before you start investing in Pokémon, you should probably wonder, how am I gonna store all these products for a long time frame of about 5 to 10 years? If you don't have any storage space, it will get really hard to invest in Pokémon, especially with larger products like Elite Trainer boxes and collection boxes. You can choose to only invest in booster boxes because they are smaller than Elite Trainer boxes and it will require a lot less space. But still, you should wonder, how am I gonna save something for 5 to 10 years? Do I have a spare closet or an extra room where I can store some products? Or do I have some tote bags or any other type of storage space where you can store some products? Before you invest in Pokémon, you should think about, how do I keep my collection safe for a long time? A really important tip that I can give you is, have a realistic expectation. If you expect to double your money in a few months, Pokémon investing isn't for you. You should have a longer time frame and expect to double your money in about a few years. So if you just stick to it, make it a routine. If you have some spare money and you can invest it in a booster box or some ATBs, eventually in a few years the prices will go up and you would have made a great return. Don't expect your money to double overnight. Have realistic expectations. You can make great returns in Pokémon investing. You're probably wondering to yourself, should I invest in sealed or in singles? Well, if you think about it, it always comes down to supply and demand. With sealed products, things are being opened. So the supply goes down eventually. There are only so many booster boxes made from a certain set. And if a lot of streamers or YouTubers or just general people open products, your booster boxes that are sealed are getting rarer and rarer by the minute. And eventually the price will go up because there's more demand than supply. And for the singles it is the reverse. With every set that's being opened and every product that's being opened, more singles are going on the market. So that means that at the start there's a little supply and a lot of demand, so the prices are really high. And as you saw on the graph, eventually the prices will come down because there's a lot more supply. If you keep a long enough time frame in mind, the print run of products don't matter. There are certain sets that are printed more than others. And yeah, that is reflected in the price. For example, Team Up is a set that has a really high demand, but at the time there were some factory issues and the time frame wherein it was printed was really small. And yeah, that means that the prices go really high because there's a lot of demand and not enough supply. But even for a set like Vivid Voltage, if you wait 10 years, eventually the supply will not meet the demand, and that will mean that eventually the prices go up. So if you invest in a lot of different sets, you will always pick some winners, and even if a set isn't winning at the beginning, eventually it will. So if you have a long enough time frame of about 10 years, the print runs that are happening right now don't matter because sets will get rarer by the minute when people open products. So be patient, have a long enough time frame, and eventually every set will go up. Pokémon Company brings out a lot of different products and a lot of different sets each year. You're probably wondering to yourself, yeah, which set is for me? Well, one of the best tips that I can give you is to diversify. If you pick up some booster boxes from different sets or some cool ETBs from different sets, you can always pick out some winners, even when some sets aren't performing as well. By diversifying, you will always come out on top if you pick a lot of different sets and a lot of different products. Right now the Pokémon market is in a down market, just like any other financial market at the moment. But if you think about some great investors and their advice, like Warren Buffett, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Right now it's a great moment to invest in booster boxes because the prices are really low. If you had some spare money, you can buy some really cool products right now, and if you have a long enough time frame, you can make some really nice returns. A booster box for around $74 is crazy, so take advantage of these moments. When you invest in Pokémon, you expect to make a profit in the future. Why don't you make some profits right now? Maybe you have some spare products or maybe some singles, and then you can start with selling. In the future you will have to have a reputable account where you can sell things. Maybe you can build a TCG player account or an eBay account where you already can get some great feedback and people are more likely to buy products from you in the future. It's quite difficult as a new seller on eBay to start selling products. So if you already built an account and make some small sales, you can already start to build up some credit. The people are more likely to buy products from you in the future. Pokémon investing is for you if you have a long time frame and a realistic expectation. You can buy some really cool booster boxes, but you should think about how you're gonna store them for the future. So be patient and just keep building your collection month after month, and eventually you will have a really nice collection and you will have made some really great returns. So be patient, have realistic expectations and work with a long time frame, and Pokémon investing is the best thing that you can do. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye bye!